Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a one-room log cabin at Sinking Spring Farm near Hodgenville, Kentucky. His parents, Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Hanks Lincoln, were poor frontier farmers of undistinguished Virginia stock. Lincoln later wrote of his humble origins. "I was born February 12, 1809, in Hardin County, Kentucky. My parents were both born in Virginia, of undistinguished families, second families, perhaps I should say. He had an older sister, Sarah, and a younger brother who died in infancy. Life was harsh. In the fall of 1816, when Abraham was 7, the family moved to a 160-acre farm in Spencer County, Indiana. There, in the wild backwoods, Lincoln grew up chopping wood, splitting rails, and helping his father clear land. Bears and other wild animals still roamed the forests. Formal schooling was almost non-existent. He attended school for less than a year total, learning only to read, write, and cipher. Yet young Abraham was hungry for knowledge. He borrowed books wherever he could. The Life of George Washington, the Bible, Aesop's Fables, and Robinson Crusoe. He read by firelight at night. Tragedy struck when he was 9. On October 5, 1818, his mother Nancy died of milk sickness. Lincoln later called her death the greatest sorrow of his life. His father remarried the next year to Sarah Bush Johnston, a kind widow with 3 children of her own. Abraham formed a close bond with his stepmother, who encouraged his love of reading. In 1830, at age 21, Lincoln helped his family move once more, this time to Macon County, Illinois. He soon struck out on his own, settling in the tiny village of New Salem. There he worked as a store clerk, postmaster, surveyor, and rail splitter. In 1832, he volunteered for the Black Hawk War, though he saw no combat. That same year, he ran for the Illinois state legislature and lost. But Lincoln was undeterred. He taught himself law by studying borrowed law books at night. In 1834, he won election to the Illinois House of Representatives as a Whig. He was re-elected 3 times. By 1837, Lincoln had moved to Springfield, Illinois, where he began practicing law. Tall, lanky, and known for his honesty, he earned the nickname Honest Abe. In 1842, he married Mary Todd, a well-educated woman from a prominent Kentucky family. They had 4 sons. Robert, who survived to adulthood. Lincoln's political career expanded. In 1846, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, serving 1 term from 1847 to 1849. He opposed the Mexican-American War and introduced the Spot Resolution, demanding President Polk specify the exact spot where American blood had been shed. After his term, he returned to Springfield law practice, but national events soon pulled him back. The Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854, which allowed slavery to expand into new territories, outraged Lincoln. He re-entered politics as a leader of the new Republican Party, which opposed the spread of slavery. Lincoln's leadership shone brightest in moments of crisis. On November 19, 1863, at the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, he delivered the 272-word Gettysburg Address. In it, he redefined the war. 47 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal, that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Despite war weariness, Lincoln was re-elected in November 1864, defeating General George McClellan. By early 1865, victory was near. On April 9th, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse. 5 days later, on the evening of April 14, 1865, Good Friday, Lincoln and his wife Mary attended the play Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. At approximately 10:15 p.m., Confederate sympathizer and actor John Wilkes Booth slipped into the presidential box and shot Lincoln in the back of the head with a Derringer pistol. Booth leapt to the stage, breaking his leg, and shouted "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants. Lincoln was carried across the street to the Peterson House. He never regained consciousness. At 7:22 a.m. on April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln died at the age of 56. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton reportedly said, "Now he belongs to the ages." The nation mourned. Lincoln's body lay in state in the White House and Capitol before a 1,700-mile funeral train carried him home to Springfield. He was laid to rest in Oak Ridge Cemetery. The 13th Amendment, abolishing slavery, was ratified in December 1865, Lincoln's final triumph.